What is up? It is day number 4 of my 7-day Fusion Flow workout series, and today we're getting in that full body stretch. It's going to feel so good, loosening up those sore muscles. We're going to be focusing on improving our mobility and our flexibility. I'm going to be guiding you through this one today, so all you're going to need is a soft surface to work on or an exercise mat and some comfy clothes. Remember to work at your own pace and listen to that body. If you need a little extra time with any of these moves, just hit that pause button. And of course, none of these movements should be painful. Some of them may feel a little challenging, but they should never cause you any type of pain. All right, clear that space and let's get started. Okay, starting by standing on our mats nice and tall, reaching those arms up overhead as we inhale, and then exhale, folding forward, sweeping the arms up nice and high, finding length, and then folding forward, releasing any tension in that lower spine and in the hamstrings. And on your next inhale, you're going to extend the right arm straight up, grabbing onto the wrist with the left, giving it a little tug, bending to the side here, getting a nice stretch through that right side body. Continuing to breathe in and out. And on your next exhale, you're going to switch sides, grabbing onto that left wrist now as you inhale, and then exhale, folding to the right side. Again, just feeling a nice gentle pull through that left side body. That's it. Coming back to center now, just a couple gentle shoulder rolls to the back, loosening up any stress or tension in the upper body. And then let's take that left hand and gently place it on the head, giving a nice assisted neck pull here. Listening to your body, making sure you're not experiencing any pain, just a nice gentle stretch. Continuing to breathe in and out. And release. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Just a very small amount of pressure, creating a nice stretch through the side of the neck. And release. Going into some head rolls here, you may choose just to go side to side or possibly all the way around. Just doing what feels right for you. Releasing tension from the neck, letting go of any stress or anxiety, just focusing on the breath and focusing on this moment. All right, that's it. We're going to get more into the chest and the shoulders here. Placing the right hand flat on a wall, your hand is at shoulder height or just slightly lower. And you're going to slowly turn your body away from the wall. So you should feel this pulling all the way through the bicep, the shoulders, and the chest. You can gaze over that left shoulder to go a little deeper. And release. Now let's move that right hand up the wall so that it is now higher than the shoulder, and doing the same thing, rotating the body away from the wall. This is just going to get a little different angle here, a little deeper into that chest and the shoulder. Don't forget to breathe. All right, very nice. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Starting with our left hand on the wall, slightly lower than the shoulder. And remember, throughout today's session, you definitely want to feel a good stretch. May feel a bit uncomfortable at times, but you never want to be in any type of pain. Okay, moving the hand slightly higher up the wall now and getting in that full twist. and release. Coming back to center, we're going to open up even more through the chest. Let's spread those arms, bringing both hands behind the back, and then rotate the thumbs downward. This is going to feel so nice on the biceps. So really push the hands back, rotate the thumbs down and back as far as you can. Awesome, now let's get into those triceps. Right hand comes up and over, elbow pointing up to the sky. Adding just a little bit of pressure with the opposite hand and tilting over to the side. Make sure you're keeping your chin up here. You don't want to drop the chin to the chest. And you want to make sure the palm of your hand is just in the center of your back. Standing up nice and tall with a slight side bend so that we're getting through both the side body as well as nice and deep into those triceps. Now bring that right arm across the body, applying a little bit of pressure inward with that left hand. Feeling this through the tricep and the right shoulder. Make sure that your right shoulder doesn't creep up towards the ear. You want to keep it pressed down. Coming behind the back now, we're going to grab onto the wrist with the left hand, give it a little tug behind the back, and then add in that head tilt. This should feel really nice through the neck, through the traps, the shoulders and the chest, really getting into that upper body. All right, quick little shake. We're going to do all of that on the opposite side. So starting with that overhead tricep stretch with a little bit of a side bend, that right hand is applying a very gentle amount of pressure to help get a little bit deeper into this stretch. Great, now bring that arm in front of the body, gentle tug inward. Keep that shoulder pressed down away from the ear and add in that gentle head tilt. Coming around to the back, clasping onto that wrist for the final stretch on this left side. Okay team, coming to the back of your mat now, we're going to take a nice big inhale, reach up and then exhale, folding forward nice and slow, coming down as low as you can. Whether you're placing the hands on the mat, maybe you're grasping onto the elbows or keeping your hands on your hips. Doing whatever feels right for you here, just keeping a nice soft knee. You want to really feel a stretch through the back of those legs. You may want to add in a little heel lift here, one at a time, shifting the weight into the flat foot, back and forth. This feels really nice on those hamstrings and the glutes. Okay, shaking out that head, and then we're going to gently and slowly walk ourselves forward into a high plank. And then slowly lower all the way down, press through the palms of the hands coming up into our cobra. Inhale, taking a gaze over that right shoulder. And exhale, coming back to center. Then inhale, gazing over the left shoulder. And exhale back to center, releasing down to the mat. And then let's press up into that downward facing dog. Drawing the chest towards the upper thighs, lifting the hips up, pressing the fingers and toes into your mat. Big inhale here through the nose, and exhale, sigh it out through the mouth. On your next inhale, we're going to kick that right leg up to the sky, then tuck the knee into the chest, coming into our runner's lunge. Very gently shifting the weight forward, getting a nice stretch in that right hip, left quadricep, and left hip flexor. Make sure the upper body is staying upright and your core is engaged. Your hands are just on your knee for balance. You're not applying any extra pressure here. And then if it feels okay for you, you're going to reach back and grab onto that left foot. This is going to get real nice and deep into that left quad. And if you have sensitive knees, you may want to roll up that mat for a little extra thickness, or you could try a towel underneath the knees as well for extra cushion. If this position is challenging for you, you can always stay in that runner's lunge, or you could try placing a yoga block or a rolled up towel underneath the left foot, slightly elevating it off the floor. That's it, and release. Flexing that right foot now and straightening out the right leg. We're gonna get into the hamstring a little bit more and the calves. So we're just folding forward, hinging from the hips. Hands are coming to either side of that extended leg. We're gonna draw the chest as close as we can to the upper thigh and the knee. If you wanna make sure you're getting deeper into that right calf, grab onto the toes, making sure you're really flexing through the foot. That's it, we're almost there. So many of us tend to get tight in those hamstrings, including myself. So we're gonna hold this one a little extra longer today. All right, that's it. Bending the right knee and shifting forward again. We're gonna walk the right foot out to the edge of our mat, coming into a lizard pose. You're gonna let that right knee just very gently fall to the side so the weight is more on the outside edge of the foot, opening up through that right hip. Then you may just wanna hold in this position, nice and upright. That may be plenty enough for you. Or ever so slowly, you can begin lowering yourself down closer to the mat. And this is about as far as I'm going to be going today, but of course, do what you want, do what feels right for you, and don't push it. It's all about getting in that nice, gentle stretch, focusing on the breath and finding a range of motion that works for you. And when you're ready, we're gonna slowly make our way out of this position, bringing that foot right back to center, bringing the left to meet it, and we're gonna pedal out those feet here in our forward fold before we do the same series of stretches on the other side. Okay, lunging back with that right foot now, we're gonna get into our runner's lunge on the opposite side, staying nice and upright, shifting our weight slightly forward into that front heel. And again, you may want to stay here, or if you're up for it, reaching back, grabbing onto that right foot for an extra quad stretch. And release. Let's extend that left leg now, flexing the foot and slowly rounding the spine, dropping the chest towards the upper thigh. Inhaling and exhaling, sinking just a little bit lower each time. You want to aim to keep that left leg as straight as you can without locking or hyperextending the knee. Awesome, bending that left knee, shifting forward, bringing the left foot to the outer edge of the mat. Again, you can stay nice and upright if that's enough for you, or if you're comfortable lowering down to one elbow, maybe both elbows on the mat, whatever works for you. Just concentrate on the breath and letting yourself just sink into this position. All right, let's make our way back into that forward fold and again pedal out the legs. All right, nice big inhale here, and then as you exhale, you're going to bend the knees, sit back. We're coming into a nice deep squat position, and then inhaling as we extend the legs, exhaling as we squat back down. Keeping the chin lifted, keeping the weight shifted back into the heels. And on your next extension, we're going to step the feet back into that high plank and then drop the knees coming onto all fours. Opening up to the right side, extending that right hand up to the sky as we get a nice twist through the body. Then threading the arm under, dropping the right shoulder and cheek down to your mat. Think about keeping your hips square to the back wall here. Okay, let's do the same thing on the other side. Left hand comes up to the sky, and then thread it through, lowering to the mat, squaring out the hips, reaching the fingertips nice and long. That's it, coming back to all fours, ready to go into our cat-cow. Taking a big inhale and then exhaling as you round the spine, drop the chin to the chest, belly button to the spine. And then inhale as you drop the belly, lift the chin and chest to the sky. Working at your own pace, working with your breath, finding movement through the spine, lifting and pressing away from the mat as you round out the back. Feel free to freestyle that cat-cow however you wish. Okay, crossing the ankles, we're going to come back down to our mat, finding ourselves in a seated position. With the soles of the feet together, letting the knees drop out nice and wide. We're going to sit up tall. Maybe you want to throw in a little head tilt here, a little side to side roll. Just let those knees fall nice and heavy. Now we're going to extend the right leg nice and long and place the sole of the left foot on the inner right thigh. Reach for that right foot, and then as we reach and bend to the side, the left arm extends overhead, keeping the bicep in line with the ear. You may find that you stay more upright with your right hand resting on your thigh or your shin as your left hand extends overhead with a gentle side bend. this stretch will look totally different for each and every one of us. So just do your best. With every exhale, we're sinking just a little bit deeper, and with each inhale, finding just a little more space. That's it. Bringing it back to center, we're going to do the same side stretch on the opposite side. Left leg extends, reach for that foot and bring the right arm up and over, feeling a release through that left hamstring and calf, and then all the way down that right side body. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Nice steady inhales and exhales. All right, that is it. We're coming back to center. We're gonna do a seated figure 4. So crossing the right ankle over the bent left knee, find a spot that works well for you, playing around with your positioning. You may wanna try bringing the glutes closer or further away from the heel that's on the floor. Keep the torso fairly upright and drop the right knee out to the side. You can also do this stretch laying flat on your back if that's more comfortable for you. I do, however, find this seated method helps to get deeper into the glutes. It's definitely a challenge, but worth it in the end. All right, release. Give those legs a quick little shake, and then let's do the same thing on the other side. I find it helpful to lift the glutes up off the ground just to help me get into position and then shimmy around a little bit until I find a spot that feels right. If this feels advanced for you, you can always start with the right leg fully extended on the floor, cross the left ankle over just above the knee, and then as you feel comfortable, slowly bend the right knee, drawing the heel closer in just 1 inch at a time as you begin to feel more comfortable. All right, let's unpretzel ourselves and shake out those legs one more time. Keeping the legs extended, ready for a double leg stretch now. Reach up overhead as you inhale and then exhale, folding forward, coming down as low as you can, drawing the chest towards the upper thighs, keeping the knees soft and the feet flexed. Feeling this all down the back of the legs. Also being sure to relax the neck and release tension in the lower back. Okay, sitting up nice and tall now, cross the right foot over the left leg, and then gently twisting to the right, gazing over the right shoulder. Applying just a little bit of pressure on that right knee with the left elbow so that we really get in that full upper body twist. Very nice. We're gonna do the same thing, twisting now to the left, sitting up tall, opening the chest up to the left a little further with every exhale. And back to center. Let's make our way down onto our backs, hugging the knees into the chest, giving yourself a little love, maybe a gentle rock side to side. Breathing in and out through the nose. And then let's extend that left leg long, hugging the right knee in towards the chest. Then we're going to extend the right leg up towards the sky. A little point and flex of the foot, helping to loosen up the ankles, the toes, and the calves. Then bring the knee back in towards the chest and guide the knee across the body, bringing your gaze to the right side. Your right arm can be fully extended or in cactus pose. You just want to try and keep both shoulder blades in contact with your mat. The left hand can just rest on the knee. It's not really applying any pressure here, just reminding it to stay where it is. And coming back to center for a quick reset, lifting into a glute bridge, driving through the heels, lift the hips, squeeze the glutes, and then back on down. Take hold of that left knee now as you extend the right leg. Give it a little tug into the chest. And then whenever you're ready, kick the leg up to the sky. Point and flex, finding movement in the ankles. You can always grab onto the thigh, the calf, or the ankle, whatever works for you. And then let's bring that knee back into the chest and guide it across the body, bringing our gaze to the left, getting in that nice twist, and remember to keep those shoulder blades flat on the mat, or as flat as possible. That's it, back to center. One more glute bridge here to even us out. Slowly rolling down the spine until your back is nice and flat on the mat. Now rock yourself up, finding your way back onto all fours for a little bit of wrist work. We're going to point the fingertips out to the sides. Wrists should be right below the shoulders. Then add in that slow rock side to side, feeling a nice stretch through the forearms. Really listening to your body here. This should not be painful. Everybody's range of motion will be very, very different on this one. Okay, rotating the fingers back towards the body now. We're just shifting the weight back, keeping the palms flat on the ground. Again, feeling this through the forearms and the wrists. Very gentle, only applying an amount of pressure that feels right for you. And then lastly, flipping the palms so the top of the hands are now flat on the mat. And then shifting back here. We do so many push-ups and so many exercises that require wrist strength. So this is a great way to improve the flexibility and the mobility in our wrists. Okay, sitting up, throwing in a few wrist twirls here, maybe clasping the hands, creating small circles, just loosening things up. And then back on all fours. Open the knees wide, keeping the toes together, shift back into that child's pose. Really reach the arms forward, drop the head, relaxing the neck, letting the belly breathe loosely. Sink the hips back and down towards the feet, a little deeper with every exhale. I want you to focus now, in your own time, on taking 3 nice big breaths in through the nose and exhale, sigh it out through the mouth. Thank you so much for working out with me today, team, and for taking the time to slow things down. Give your body the love and attention that it needs to rest and recover. I hope this full body stretch has you feeling energized and ready to tackle a new workout tomorrow. Feel free to stay here on your mat as long as you like. Maybe add in a 5 or 10-minute meditation for bonus points. Stay hydrated, rest up, and I'll see you guys at the next workout.